you've got to start with understanding this. You're not building a job for yourself. You're building a business that works so you don't have to. If you have to work, it's not a business. It's just and you work for an idiot. Yes, that's true. Because here's the real important factor behind this. Is the risk that you are taking of being self-employed worth the return if it's still small? No, the risk isn't worth it. You've got to go for the business that works to take the risk into account, for the reward to be the right ratio. So with that in mind, we want to build a business that works, not just a job for ourselves. And for that to be the case, you've got to start thinking of, how do I sell this differently? What else do I need to do? What other products? What other services? What else And this is a very important factor behind the whole thing. So where do we start with that? Well, we start with looking for new opportunity. Looking for new what? Opportunity. Most business owners, are they looking for new opportunity, or are they trying to do the same stuff the same way all the time? Which one? Same stuff, same way. If you're going to keep doing the same stuff the same way, you might grow a little, but you're not going to double, triple, quadruple unless you start looking for new opportunities. Simple example of this one, in fact, probably one you'll all relate to. Apple. Here's Apple, a company. 15 years ago, where was Apple as a company? Basically bankrupt. 15 years ago, this company was about to go under. How come? They didn't understand what they were doing. They really didn't. In fact, the best thing that ever happened at Apple is Steve Jobs was kicked out and he went away and ran a different type of business. Who remembers what type of business? What was it called? Pixar, the movie business, okay? Because it learnt section 2 of theory about it, leverage. Leverage, by definition, is divide to multiply. That's its mathematical formula. Who got that right? Henry Ford got that right, didn't he? Divided up production line, multiplied the end result. Ray Kroc at McDonald's got leverage right. Divided up, franchise the business, multiply the end result. If your business, and I'll get more to leverage in a moment, but see, Steve Jobs went and he learnt leverage. Leverage, by my definition, is do the work once and get paid long-term or forever. Do the work how many times? Come on, everyone, how many times? And get paid long or forever. See, think about this. My first ever book I wrote this now 16 years ago. So far, we've sold 528,000 copies of this book around the world. In fact, every 3.5 minutes, somewhere in the world, someone buys one of my books. Is that pretty good leverage, yes or no? You guys are allowed to say, hey, shit, that's good, Brad. Well done. Yeah, congratulations. Bloody hard audience to please. If it was every 3 minutes, they would have clapped, you think? What the hell was I talking about? I don't know. Yeah, do the work one time, get paid long-term or forever. See, Steve Jobs went to Pixar. What did he learn? Make a movie, sell it, billions of times forever. See, think about what he learned. He went back to Apple and said, we've got to find a new opportunity, because their old business model was not based around leverage. What was their old business model? Make a computer. Come on, this isn't a trick question, gang. Make a computer and sell it. And not only did they make it once and only sell it once, they built in a debt. Because how remember, Apple used to provide the software free of charge and they had to continually provide upgrades. You know, so their business was always getting worse and worse, not better and better. Bill Gates, what was his business model? Make software and sell it billions of times. Does that make sense to everyone? You know, too often people start sitting down and thinking about their whole business. But so let's get back to this new opportunity thing. He went over to the movie, he said, okay, how do we sell more movies? How do we sell more music? How do we sell these things? And here's the real interesting question. How many songs did Apple make last year? None. How many did they sell? Billions. Every time One Direction comes out with a new album, who's the most excited people on the planet? Apple shareholders. How many of you are Apple shareholders? Only one, two of us. Yay, us! You know, when a new movie comes out, who gets excited? Apple shareholders. How many movies did Apple make last year? None. When new apps come out, new games. See, Apple, how many apps did they make last year? One. They made Apple Maps. Piece of shit. They should never make another one again. That was the worst app ever invented. Don't ever do that, you guys. You know, they make no apps and they sell billions of the damn things. And they take 30% of every single sale that goes through along the way. See, he found a new opportunity, and all of a sudden, in fact, look at the opportunity again. He sold the iPhone, and the iPad, so iPod to begin with, and then said, okay, another new opportunity. Let's turn it into a phone. There's another opportunity. And then they gave it a bigger screen, and then they're like, well, hang on, people aren't buying as many games or movies or TV shows. Let's invent an iPad, because then they can buy TV shows and movies. And none of you even knew you wanted an iPad till he told you, hey, you can watch TV shows, play games on this sort of stuff. You know, all the old people were like, fantastic, that's the best thing ever. Now I can read it. I couldn't read it on the phone. You know, and you start looking at the new opportunity with real leverage. Now, by the way, does Samsung arguably have a better phone today than the iPhone? Yes or no? Yeah, they do. I mean, Samsung ran ads recently saying, dear iPhone 6 users, welcome to 2012. We've had all that same shit back then. Here's the point, though. Which company's bigger? Apple. Because Apple uses what? Samsung makes a phone, sells it. Every Samsung phone, guess what they put on it to manage their music? iTunes. What opportunities are you looking for every day?